This is the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. And this morning we're going to be looking at About Me pages. My name is Lowell Ann, and in my coaching and consulting work, I help solopreneurs stay focused and motivated as we take their business to the next level, using some pretty simple structures and some easy technology. We'll be right back after this. Greetings wherever you are, and welcome to the Being Your Own CEO Success Circle. This is intended as a support for solopreneurs. We get together because we enjoy each other's company, but we also like exchanging ideas and information and doing lots of experimentation. And we all give and receive support. You can discover what we stand for by reviewing our operating principles on the website, my website. So I want to welcome the viewers, if there are any, on the website page. We call it the VCP page, and invite them to add their comments there. Say that, tell us that you're there, and tell us what you do and where you're coming from, etc. So, and now it's time for the members of this morning's panel to introduce themselves. And let's see, who shall we begin with this morning? I'm just going to look in the film strips. So, Alana, how would you like to begin?
Good evening, afternoon, morning, everyone, wherever you are. My name is Alana, and I'm coming to you from Ireland. I run a blog called emptynesterblog.com, where I help empty nesters create their own online income. I also have another business. I won't say it's part-time because it's really not. I have another business where I help clients with their websites here in Ireland and abroad. So I have a few clients in the States and a few clients here. And I suppose my ultimate goal is to be a portable virtual worker from anywhere. And I've been able to make that happen. So mission accomplished. Happy to be here.
Happy that you are with us this morning. What's for dinner?
Leftover spaghetti.
Okay, right on. I just finished breakfast here in Victoria. So
it's a little crazy here. My daughter just came back from the States yesterday. She was there for 3 months working and playing and having fun, and she's going back to college in a few weeks. So we're kind of, I kind of make stuff and you come in and eat when you want, and then, that's just the way it is at the minute until things calm down around here.
All right. Well, that's good. So let's see. Well, there's Fred. How would you like to introduce yourself, Fred?
Yes, hello, and it's Fred Jones. I'm in Victoria, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, west coast of Canada. And I'm the creator of Our Future Leaders, which is a cutting-edge online coaching program for our young people, probably ages from 9 to 15, 16. Helps them expand their communication, leadership skills, boost their self-confidence, assist them when they enter adulthood to become the leaders that our world really needs. So I love working with young people. It's wonderful.
Yes. And it is such important work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I read a really interesting article in a local newspaper this morning. It, directed at parents. If your child has been identified as a bully in school, what do you do about it? And I thought, holy smokes. I don't remember being even conscious of all of that stuff when my boys were growing up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the world has changed enormously. The young people are just amazing what they're capable of doing, positive and negative.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, what you're doing is influencing them in a positive way, and that's a wonderful thing to be doing. Yeah. So thank you for doing it. Anna, I see you're there now, and you took your glasses off. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I took them off because of the glare. See, I like them, but look at
Oh,
that.
yes, no kidding.
So, yes, my name is Anna Fernandez. I'm coming to you from the little tiny town of Champion, Alberta, southern Alberta. I think the population's 200 here. So that's why I'm in this temporary kind of environment. But I live in Mazatlan. I have been living there for about 7 years now. I run a blog called thesolosnowbird.com. And through that and through Facebook, I run a couple of groups one's an activity group for solo snowbirds, because I'm a solo snowbird. And that keeps me very busy. But other than that, I'm a multipreneur. So I have multiple streams of income. I'm hoping to, anyways, working on it. It's always a work in progress. I'm sure everyone can relate to that. So yeah, so that's what in 25 days, I'll be back in my nice warm country again.
It's not cold here yet, Anna.
It's freezing. It's freezing where I am right now.
So I like that term you're using, and that relates to a blog that I reposted, or I posted here not long ago, and it's this idea of multipreneur. So in that blog, Nancy and Sue and I talked about multiple streams of income and passive income, and what to do, how you how are you going to handle living to be 120, which some of us may do.
Yay!
Yeah.
I got so much unfinished business. I have to live to 100 at least.
Well, Anna, I've been heard to say I need 3 lifetimes to do all the things that I want to do. So I'm glad you're here. So, but that little town, you're right, I've never heard of it before. Like, what major center is it close to?
It's just north of Lethbridge and about 2 hours south of Calgary.
Okay.
So right between.
Right. I know where that is.
One of my best friends of 30 years lives here, so that's where I'm couch surfing here.
Aha, right on. Oh dear, I can't believe that you think it's cold. Of course, I spent 20. It's all relative, you know. I spent 20 years in the Northwest Territories, so.
Oh, no. Anything below 18 is freezing to me.
Yeah, right. Cool. Oh, and there's Nancy. How are you doing this morning? And would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I had some technical difficulties on my computer with my Zoom audio. Sorry about being a little late.
It's all
but
right.
I'm on my phone, so that worked out. But yes, thank you very much for having me. I'm Nancy Price here in Victoria, British Columbia. A beautiful day today, smoke-free, sun shining, everything perfect. And I'm a holistic nutritionist and a Qigong practitioner. And I know that people out there these days were bombarded with health tips and information from experts, gurus, friends, family, all the rest of it. But you don't need to panic or get anxious, and you don't even need to try the latest product you read about in a wellness magazine. If you have a strategy, a professionally designed plan that's created just for you, created with you and your unique goals and dreams in mind, you can reach those goals one step at a time. and live a life of optimal health and well-being, pain-free, inflammation-free, and just gets better and better. So that's what I
Why,
do. And
that's quite an elevator
Oh,
speech. Whoa.
that's quite a. I can you tell I'm winging it? I'm reading it off my latest blog.
Cool.
More or less. But yeah, it's a new. I was working with chronic pain, and now I've shifted over to. I realized that treating chronic pain or autoimmune disease is actually no different than treating anyone in terms of health. You're looking at reducing inflammation, protecting the cells, nourishing the cells in the mitochondria. So it's kind of all the same. And I wanted to take. I think it's important that people know that there is hope because we are bombarded with information out there. So I can help you make it clear.
Right on. And I want to know more about your qigong that you're going to do in the fall. So make sure that you let me know.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
Are you on my list?
Yes, I think I am on your
Email
your
list?
list. Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah. I
So
sent one out. I'm going to send another one out right after the weekend because it seems nobody's quite.
Yeah, right. Right now, everybody's focused on their kids getting back into school.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right
thanks,
on.
Lolan.
Yeah.
I will let you know.
Yeah. And so, Vivek, what's new with you these days?
Namaste. My name is Vivek, and vakeTechnology.com is my brand. Unify, simplify, amplify life is a tagline which was given to me by Roland, sadly, who is no longer with us anymore. But I hope to carry on with his the guidance that he gave me a while ago. But I am in England, and it has been raining last couple of days. It is a bit cloudy here, but 24 degrees centigrade, so it's quite warm. Not freezing as per Anna's definition.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Okay, thank you. And I'm just posting something on the page because I had that Control V. Okay, there we go. And you sort of made me realize that I need to mention to anybody. Some of you here may not be aware that Roland Takahoka passed away last weekend, having had his fourth stroke. And if you look on the VCP page, he and his son created that plugin for WordPress that I use on my website. I know that there are a few other people who also use it. Anyway, on that web page, I have posted a bit.ly link to a GoFundMe for Roland, if you care to leave a memorial for the family. Apparently, they were left with quite a humongous health bill from hospital and etc. in the U.S. So, if you care to leave a message for or a donation and a message, you can leave a message there as well. So you'll find there's a bit.ly link there for that purpose on my website. So, and I want to also acknowledge that David Flannery is out there from Rock Falls. So welcome here, David. Happy that you could make it. I know that you're busy a lot of the time, so it's good that you were able to make it. So now, this morning, here I am sort of messing around with all these things. Here we go. This morning I thought we were going to talk about something that I believe it was Nancy who suggested it some time ago. And so it's always nice to have a few topics in the hopper. So I do welcome suggestions from other members so that we can figure out what we want to talk about, because one of the things that I find that carries us forward doing this success circle is always having sort of a specific topic focus. I think if we all just came together and to shoot the breeze, it wouldn't have enough focus. So it's always really useful for us to have a focus for our conversation. So topics are most welcome. So I wanted to begin right out of the hopper on this discussion with a question. What is the purpose of the About Me page on any given website? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Well, I can share that where I'm at in terms of confusion, kind of like with too many supplement options. I think it used to be where you'd put more or less like your CV, your training history, your professional training, your experience. Now, is it about introducing yourself just in a friendly way? Is it about sharing why you are here for that, why you are here, and why your website exists? There's so many things that it seems to be. That's why I brought this forward, and thank you for sharing this topic today, because I myself would like to get clarity. Like, what are we introducing? Is it our brand? I think it is. Brand, personality, the person, our history. What are we promoting there, or what is the purpose of that page?
Yeah.
Is it a welcome page? Even.
Okay. You posed a lot of questions that I was going to pose as well, so that's good.
Oh, good.
Great minds think alike, Nancy.
Don't we know it? That's great.
Anybody else have any thoughts about what the purpose, the overall purpose of an About Me page would be? Alana?
Well, I think that an About Me page should introduce you to the person you're trying to connect with. So I think it needs to have a little bit about who you are and what the reason is for your website, and some way to connect with the people that you want to visit your website. So I suppose that probably will tie into what is the purpose of your website, and kind of roll that all together. And I've read a lot of About Me pages since we were going to be talking about this, and some About Me pages I find are very convoluted. And they talk about random things that have nothing to do with their website, and I find myself feeling a little confused, like, who is this person and why would I want to connect with this person? So I think you need to be a little succinct in creating your About Me page, and I suppose it should be revisited every now and again to make sure that you're still making that connection.
So I like that, Alana, that you brought up that the connection with your desired reader. Yeah.
Yep.
So Anna, I think you were waving as well.
Yeah, all I just wanted to add in was that in this impersonal world where we're, which is the wonderful having internet and all that stuff, but it can be impersonal. I think an About Me page should make you more of a real person to your audience, so they really know who you are. Not, I went to this university, I have this education. They're not really interested in that stuff. They're more interested in who you are as a person and how do you relate to your website or your business or whatever it is that you have, your blog, for example, in my case. You know, what relationship is it there, and what relationship do you have with your audience? I think it's more to connect on a more personal level than as opposed to a professional level. In certain cases.
Aha. So, so creating a relationship, but again, with the with your desired reader. Aha.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I agree with that for sure. Vivek, you were wanting to chime in.
Yeah, my at least, okay. What I want to say was I want to actually verify with the assembled experts here. What do you think of my About Me page? What I have there is I start with my elevator pitch, which is a video, short 1 minute video. Then I talk about my values, my approach, and if your goal is to increase your market share, increase your sales, improve your business process, ease your business pain, I'm saying please do fill in the contact form.
Okay. And your elevator pitch, how long is it?
Less than a minute.
Okay. I think it's a great idea to put an elevator, to put a video. Certainly, I certainly haven't done that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And so easy to do. Right. Anybody else have something? I mean, I have an answer for this that is, well, maybe my answer, but Fred, what about you? Do you have a sense of what the purpose of an About Me page might be?
I think it's really got to do with just trying to inform people who you are, your background, so they can relate to you and say, oh, sounds like an interesting person. I'd probably like to do business with them. Or obviously, I know when I look at About Me, I want to know who they are, where they came from, why they're doing it, what their purpose, what their mission is.
Yeah.
So it's really, we got to, the more we know and the more we open up, more authentic we are, more people are willing to work with us.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And so all of what everybody has just said, for me, rolls into one thing. The purpose of your About Me page is to build trust in you. And to connect with that person, you're the target reader. You want to build a relationship and building the trust, because getting back to Nancy's thing, I used to think it was just posting your CV. That is too impersonal, isn't it?
I agree with what you just said, Lola.
Yeah.
Yes, putting the CV is not even right for LinkedIn page, if I think.
Right.
Even on a LinkedIn page, you are not supposed to put your CV.
No.
You are supposed to put things like what actually you did in each role rather than your CV.
Yeah.
Slightly different, but
yes.
But often people do put their CV on the LinkedIn page and think that's what it is for. It's not.
No. So we want to know something about that person. So the other I think we're all pretty clear on what the purpose is. So now what are some of the things that we should include? And I'm going to get on my soapbox right now. It drives me nuts when I visit a website and I do not see a face-on picture of that person. I want to see their face.
Mhm.
because, again, it has to do with trust. If I see something that is vague and far away, or all of those things, my mind goes immediately, oh, there's something to hide here.
Exactly. And find that with the groups that I run on Facebook too. I have one that has almost 3,000 members and another one that's getting up to 400 now because it's newer. But that's the same thing. I don't accept people that have a picture of their dog or the grandchild or whatever. I'm sorry. It's a social group, activity group. We need to see who you are. I'm not accepting a dog into the group. That's not what the group's about. So I'm thinking of putting it into my rules and regulations. And it's been bothering me the last little while because I've had several people try to join, and there's no picture. And I scroll through their profile to see, well, maybe it's just one picture, but no, none of the pictures show them. So I refuse to accept them.
Yeah. So I mean, despite the fact that we are all doing some things online, there is a person-to-person thing. Like if you were out socially and this person came up to you with something draped over their face, how would you feel about approaching them or shaking hands with them or introducing yourself? I mean, really. So I'll get off my soapbox now. So definitely we need to include a picture. So what else? What else do you think we need to? You have others have said maybe saying something about why I'm doing this. Answering the question why. I think that's a good thing to include.
I think I agree with you completely there. That's what I'm doing there. I answer the question why you should talk to me without really stating that question as it is.
Right.
I don't state the question, but
Or
I
you answer
answer
it. That's right. That's so there is that sort of linking the I guess you're linking yourself to your niche and the website, the purpose of the website. So that's definitely
I think stating your passion too. If your business or your blog or whatever it is you're doing the website for is something you feel very passionate about, you need to state that and why and how you got involved in it and that sort of thing. Make it connects it up a lot better, I think.
Yeah. Why you are doing what you're doing? Because as per Simon Sinek, people buy why you do what you do.
yes.
Not simply what you do. There are probably millions of people who may be doing the same thing as what you do, but if why you do what you're doing is relevant for them, attractive for them, that's what he says. I believe him.
I'm just looking on the website, and David says, I guess that I am trusting. I very seldom go to an About Me page. That's interesting. Wow. I wouldn't dream of doing business with anybody without. And I guess the other thing that, and it may not necessarily be on the About Me page, but I need to know where that person is. I need to know what country they're in and what part of the country. That helps me understand who they are and a little bit about their culture and how I might understand them. So that's one piece that I find is important. It doesn't. You don't always find it on an about me page, but it needs to be on the website somewhere. Yeah. For me, it does.
But what if the business is actually online and what you receive need not be delivered physically. What if it is a product service rather than a product which does not need physical presence? Like if somebody can help you online and that's their
Yeah.
service,
It doesn't
does it
matter.
really matter?
It doesn't matter to me where they live. I just want to know where they are so that
Oh.
it helps me understand them.
Because you're looking for a way to connect with them.
That's right.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to another point that I wanted to make about the uniqueness of what is it about you? What do you bring to the table specifically that's going to help your reader and your audience? Because there's, you can have a bazillion people out there selling a widget, but what makes you uniquely, what is it about your particular widget or your particular website that will connect with your audience? So I think that's what it all comes down to, is the whole connection issue.
I think what you are actually saying is what makes you unique and why should I connect with you?
Right. And I mean, and that goes back to even when you're creating your website and you're looking for your niche.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to find a niche that is not really competitive, that you're going to be out there swimming in an ocean of fish. Do you know what I mean? You want to find something smaller. You want to find an audience that's smaller that you can connect with, because I mean, you won't connect with everybody, and there's no point in trying to.
That's right. Yeah. So, I mean, Vivek, just think about the number of times that you and I have had conversations. I mean, how we started saying namaste and to all my relations, and how we gained an understanding of each other during that kind of a conversation. I mean, those are really important things when two people are getting to know each other. Yeah.
I think Fred has something to say. He's raising his hand.
Oh, is he? I've got a small thing here. Oh, Fred, good. Thank you. Thank you for that.
I just want to reinforce what you said, Lowell Ann, about knowing where they are or where they're from or some of their background. Mira Cothan, that book that we have about the 60.
Yes.
I wanted to know where she's from as well. And it's not easy to find. I suspect she's in Singapore.
Really?
But I don't know. It's not readily open. And I'm even listening to someone who interviewed her. I'm just curious, and I would make a difference for me to know where she's functioning from. I saw something that said SG, which makes me think it's Singapore, but it's not obvious. And the fact that I went to that trouble to try and find out where she is just reinforces what you said.
Right.
Yeah, but the name sounds Indian to me.
I actually believe I saw somewhere in her work that she's in Maryland, in the US. But, I have actually emailed her directly a couple of times, like she invites us to, and she answers. So you can ask her.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But maybe you shouldn't have to.
Right.
Well, you're right. No, you're right. We shouldn't have to.
I think you're right, Lowell Ann. I think it is important. When you build bonds, people would like to know where you are. I'd like to know. That's why I went to the trouble to try and find out.
Yes, I agree completely. So that's another piece about where you are and what you do, what your passions are, etc., etc. Contrary to the way I normally do things, I was thinking of sharing my About Me page to show you all what I have on mine and to get your feedback on it. How do you feel about that?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me see if I can do this. And this is on my lowland.com page. Let's see if I can do this. Nope, that's not the page. this one, I think. No, there, I found it. So can you tell me, somebody tell me, can you see it?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay. So basically what, and this website is intended as, my main goal is about coaching and my coaching and consulting services. So I started, and I even call the about page my story. So I tell a little bit of a story. You can see that I have the picture there. Then I move into how I got into this work. So that tells a little bit about my history and why and how I ended up doing coaching, etc. And then I talk about what inspires me. And here I speak about some books that have been very important to me. I actually link to all of those on Amazon, but they're not there as a marketing thing necessarily, but because there were books that say something about the approach that I take in my coaching. And then I talk about what do I believe, and these are things, I guess you would say these are my values, my business values. And then I put in my educational experiences because I think that anybody who's hiring a coach would want to know what makes you think you're qualified to be a good coach. So I felt as though I should put that there. But then I put in my leisure time joys. And so I talk about what I do to maintain my health, about my environment, about my community connection, about some volunteer work that I did, and a couple of organizations that I was connected with in this region. So, would anybody, if you went there, would you think that there's enough information there, or is there a question or something? Now, what I haven't said there, well, I guess it's implied when you get further down and talk about Victoria's Native Friendship Center. But I don't state specifically where I am. But it is available somewhere else on my website. So, what's missing? Anybody? Nancy?
Well, I'll just say, I think you've got tons of information there. And knowing you as I do, I was actually like, as you're scrolling, I'm like, hang on, I want to read that. I want to learn more about that. And I will go back to that and do that. I do feel somehow like through this wealthy affiliate training, talking about how much is on the page and all that, I think it's an awful lot of information, and all of it is valuable. So again, this brings us back to our topic. It's like just what needs to be and what may be a little excessive. And I'd also like to comment on your professional, a little bit of it won't be CV more, but that idea, professional training. I think that actually is important, because I know, speaking for Victoria anyway, I have run into so many people that say, oh, I'm a holistic nutritionist too. And you say, oh, where did you study? Oh, I didn't. Come on, right? I've just read a few books, or I've just seen it on the internet, and I know all about it, or I've lived it, or whatever. And that is, it kind of bugs me, to be honest, because I don't think that's kosher. Sorry, but call me old school, speaking of school. But I do believe professional training does count. And of course, life experience is also extremely important. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you need that to support a professional website that you're selling your skills on, your services and that sort of thing. For sure, you need to support that. Good example, because especially in this world where hairdressers need a license, but therapists don't. It's a very confusing. I don't get that at all.
It's really true.
So yes, you made a really good point, Nancy, in that supporting what you say that you're an expert in, or that you have training in, is very valuable when you're selling a service.
I've even heard someone who calls himself a psychologist saying, well, I've been to so many, I know exactly how it works.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
like
I actually,
expert.
yeah, I actually went to them because they're kind of a shamanic. I was interested, and then I tried to submit it to my extended healthcare thing, and I'm like, that's when it became really clear. Oh, she has no training. All right.
Yeah.
One word that I hate is someone calling themselves an expert. You become an expert after you became a pert. Is that how it is? You become an expert.
Oh, an expert.
What is a pert? I don't know. So I don't know what an expert is.
Yeah.
Lola Ann, if I could just jump in here. I don't you were scrolling, and I don't know if it's on your About Me page or not, but if I'm putting myself in a position where I'm looking for a business coach, and I come onto your site and I'm on your About Me page, one of the things that I would be looking for is what types of people have you helped? What line of work are they in? And that sort of thing. So I would want to know, I would want to read a paragraph that said something like, I've helped people in these different fields, and maybe list a few different fields, and maybe even get a few testimonials if they're not already there.
There are, let me stop you. Under About, I have a page with testimonials written by people and what kind of business, and they're not all of the types of people that I've coached, but they're the business people that I've coached. So yeah. Oh, Jake, you didn't get to Hawaii.
Actually,
where are you?
Where are you?
Oh, maybe he's already there. Oh, you're there already. Yeah. So
can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You rode the cyclone or what?
Oh, we blew right by it. Yeah, the ride was just absolutely fine. There was very little turbulence coming to the island, so it was great.
Yeah. And what are you seeing on the ground?
Well, mind you, we got here just last night, so this is my first chance to see what's going on. So I thought I'd quickly stop in and say hello to you guys.
Right. Well, I'm glad you made it, because we already said, oh, Jay's probably may or not be in the air or whatever. So yeah. Yeah. So getting back to our topic here, the other thing that as I have more than one website, so I have another website that is really about being your own CEO. And I found myself kind of looking at that one and realizing this is really a different website, and therefore the information that I need to share there is going to be somewhat different. So I found what I was doing there kind of more. I made it more chatty. And I did talk about what inspires me and what I believe, but I put a few more pictures of, what, my leisure time things, etc. But it just, you're right. I mean, we need to choose the information that we share, that is going to be relevant to the audience that we want to attract. How would we create a relationship with that audience, that person in the audience? Yeah.
What if I suggest to you that if you simply create a video and in fact not necessarily read it, but say everything that is there on the page
Mm-hmm.
in words,
Mm-hmm.
and in that one video, and put it on at the top of that page.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think that's a great idea. I didn't, because I have a video on another page that it describes all the things that I do and the reason I do it and how I relate to people. So I do have a video, but it's just not on that page. Yeah. But I like the idea of putting I'm thinking, given that page that I showed you, if I were going to put a video there, it would be more sort of chatty and welcome here, and I'm so glad you stopped by, and that kind of thing.
Can I throw something a little bit different into the mix here? And that is, like, this is another topic really, but so many websites now, the About Me page is the homepage. Like, you go and it's like, hi, welcome to your website. I'm so-and-so, I do this, I've done that, I work with this, I help with that. And then it's just their blog after that. So that's just another format or purpose of the About Me page now. I'm just wondering what other people's thoughts are on that. Is that really, hey, football fans, okay. Jay's here for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a question I have, because there it is. Is that your homepage, Jay, on that site?
No, this is actually a separate about page.
Okay.
I just, since we're talking about about pages, I thought I would share one of mine. So, but my home, like for this particular way, this is my home
Right.
here. Okay. So completely different, but I understand what you're talking about, because in many cases, your homepage is very similar to Amsterdam Airport, right? It's a hub that takes you to several different places. So there might be a snippet of an about who you are, which then could lead to a more detailed about page. So I just wanted to show you how, what Lao Lan was just talking about, how relevancy is key. So for example, this particular website sells these novelty items called football snack helmets, right? As you can see. So you pick your favorite team, you eat, snacks out of that particular football helmet. So this About Me page is just about how, that I'm a fan of football and tailgating and my favorite team and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't need to be a Pulitzer-winning piece of material. So it's for you to connect with your brand and to potentially connect with your readers.
So it all depends on your niche.
Absolutely. So, and then here is another About Me page, right? This is my affiliate resources About Me page, right? Short, concise, completely different story.
Yeah.
So one thing I do recommend, and I apologize if you've already talked about this, but is to have a smashing good photo of
Yes,
yourself.
we've already covered that. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for dragging the horse back out.
But I'm happy that you raised that because we can see. I mean, both you and I have photos that were developed by a professional photographer.
Yeah.
And to me, it leaves a really good impression. Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah.
What I have is my elevator pitch, but the thumbnail of that is my picture in a specific post. So
I like your about me picture. It's like you doing like this or something, right? That's what I
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do this. But I mean, when we talked about it, we said it's important to build trust. And that's the main purpose of the about page. So to be able to see that person's face, their eyes, and the way they operate. Yeah. So what about style? I mean, you folks have seen what my style is, and I chose a slightly different style on my Being Your Own CEO page, which is more, talks more around how I got involved in doing websites and how I got involved in the whole online thing, because it's more relevant to that page. And I used some pictures, some other pictures. I personally really like the idea of using visuals in on whatever page you're talking about. I looked at an organization's page yesterday on behalf for a client, and everything was gray and white. There were no visuals. There was nothing but text there, and I went, why would anybody even want to stay on this site for 2 minutes? So we have to realize that our visitors, our target visitors, are all going to have their own style, and we have to know a little something about them in order to be able to do that. I know, for example, I've heard numerous people say, I don't want to watch a video about anything. I want text." Which, and especially if there's instruction, anything that has any instruction. This person wants it in text, doesn't want to watch a video. So
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you that you have people who have different learning styles and different approaches. So we have to know a few things about those people. Go ahead.
Yeah, for that specific point, exactly what I mentioned. I mean, you can actually read what's actually there on your about page in that video. So that addresses that
Both.
point, and they
Yeah.
can watch the video or read the text.
Right.
Take your
Okay,
pick.
you got a point there. Right.
Maybe it's just me, but when I see a video, sometimes I feel like, oh man, I'm locked into this. Like, how long is this going to be? I just want to know the basics. So I guess I'm a bit of a skimmer, right? Like, boom, boom, boom. There's the main points. Got it. If I want to read more, I can. I feel when I hop onto a video, it's the first thing I look at is how long is this?
Yeah, yeah.
And how long do I have to sit here and listen to this? And maybe I'll go make a cup of tea while this person's talking. But that's just me.
I don't
that's
think
just
that's
me.
abnormal. I don't think that's abnormal at all. I mean, I think the internet age nowadays, we tend to need information prior than it, becoming in front of us. So, we tend to skim that kind of stuff. But I think video is a great way to, embed something into your about page. Just want to have some sort of captivating text though prior to the video, because you want to captivate people first before, so, but I don't think there's any problem with having video at all.
I have split my videos into, I mean, first video is just 1 minute long, and there is some text there, and below that it's a slightly longer video, which is 15 minutes or so long, where I explain the projects that I've worked on and so on and so forth. That's a bit detailed, but it's 15 minutes long, but that's at the bottom. At the top is elevator pitch, 1 minute.
Well, actually, a video does very much convey your personality. right? So people would have a very clear sense of you,
Yeah.
more or less, compared to just reading. Which could
Absolutely.
be really key on an about page.
So I'm
So
looking.
can sorry.
I'm looking at the website page, and Heidi is there, and she says I always go to the about page of people with whom I get somehow connected, but I don't know them yet. If I find nothing there, I most likely don't circle or friend them. So that's even on a in a social media situation, that has an effect. Yeah. So and I want to acknowledge that both David Flannery and Heidi are out on the page, and David says, I meet my clients in person, so I get a good feel of what they're about. When I use the internet, I'm buying things and look at reviews. Okay. So that's a good point. We've all been talking about reviews and how useful they are, for sure.
For some reason, he says David Flanders, the screen is frozen, but I'm getting audio. And
Yeah.
then Heidi is saying Hebrew.
She said it came alive again.
Yeah, it's about 18 minutes ago or something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that would be has something to do with the Google or the YouTube feed, I guess. So so we've talked a little bit about style in terms of adding videos, but what about what else would we want to see, or what other kinds of things could we think about in terms of style? Alana.
Well, I just want to mention that going back to this whole idea of skimming a site, I think if you can't grab your audience and say the first paragraph, then they're moving on. And people who are looking at websites, people are looking for different things. So I think if you're breaking it up with images instead of using just a page full of text, if you put two websites side by side that are basically about the same thing, and one's a page full of text and one's a page that has really pretty pictures on it, chances are the pretty pictures are going to stand out and people are going to stay on that site longer. So I would think that first paragraph has to be a grabber, because that's going to determine if someone is going to move on or not.
Good point.
I have a question I want to throw out there, and that is, when you're doing the about me or about us page, depending if it's a business, a blog, whatever it is, should you be talking in the first person or the third person? I'll get conflicted with that often.
Great question.
Yes.
Yeah, great question. So I think it really does depend on the niche and on the website. So, and I think, if there's more than one author on the website, then it'd be third person. My personal preference is, when in doubt, do it in first person, because you're trying to build your brand. And if you are your brand, you're trying to build yourself as an authority. So this is your chance to have your soapbox and tell who you are. So yeah. So first, I think when in doubt, do first person. So especially if your niche is about people, dealing with people.
So if you're like the only person, you are the business, in other words, then it should be first person. But if you're part of a team, maybe it should be in third person.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about a grabber. Here's my other website, my new website that isn't finished yet. Here's my story. How did an old bat like me end up here? I was supposed to retire, but I think I would die of boredom if I didn't have some real purpose and some real relationships. So I keep on finding new things to learn and get new people to know. How's that for a grabber? um,
That's really good. I I really like that. I would actually put that in a H2 tag.
would you?
Yeah, just the first Howden Old Bat part.
Oh dear. Anyway, that was one day that Bill Graham and I were working on something. I came up with that, so then I decided to use it. So
I think I would even go so far as to replace saying, "Here is my story," by just this. How did I?
yeah.
Didn't.
Oh, thank you. That's okay. Because I have the title up here is my story. So yeah, that's a good upgrade. Thank you. Anyway, I was having fun with that one. But I felt as though, because I was thinking of using that site to promote WA, etc., etc. I know that I want to a lot of people there, and a lot of people who are thinking about online businesses are in their retirement years or thinking about their retirement years, etc. So that seemed to make sense to do that. So so again, getting back to style, and I see we are right on the 10 o'clock mark, but any other comments about style, over and above what person it should be in? Should it be, and I mean, I guess everything goes back to what is the niche, and who is the target client? Yes, Anna.
Just wanted to say, and this was suggested to me, I think a few years ago, and I think it was Steve Dotto. I got it through him somehow. Like, speak the way you normally speak, and not try and make it like too formal, or if you're not casual, too casual. Just like be your genuine self. I think the form, the flow of the writing should be that way. It was a very good suggestion.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
Is just have fun with it, because you're trying to draw people in, and it's all about, whenever you're at a networking meeting, you're kind of randomly at this place where people whom you don't know, so you kind of shake hands and say, hey, my name is, and and think of it that way. Just have some fun with it. I remember Laulen, I don't know if you remember this, the meetup Christmas thing one year where I showed up in a Santa onesie.
Yes, I remember that. I there's a picture somewhere. I have a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
When in doubt, Matt, show your colors.
Yeah. It is. It's. So be authentic. Show who you are. Be who you are. Yeah. Any other, before I give us a reminder for the ending? I know that some people here have other commitments following, so any parting shots before I remind us?
Well, I would say you'd have to, don't break tradition and let Fred close it up with his wise words.
Okay, Fred, way you go.
I just had to unmute my mic. Jay, now you keep putting me on the spot. Thank you. Actually, I enjoyed this conversation very much because it made me think, who's my audience and what am I trying to convey to them? And I think that's really the gist of it. And I think Jay really put it in, have fun with it.
Yeah.
So they get to know you, and people remember you if you do a little bit different. I tend to wear a lot of different hats. And I normally wear this hat because I normally wear a microphone, but today I'm trying a different microphone, which means I can now try different hats.
Oh, right on.
except my bundle of hats that I have some really weird hats. I'd love to show them. Now I can with this microphone. Unfortunately, the hats are stored somewhere, so it's going to take me a while to go dig them out. But I really appreciate this. It made me think. It's all another great topic
All
because
right
we
on.
have to relate to our audience and they have to feel comfortable with us. And as you said, build trust. And I've got a dog in the background who keeps wanting me to throw a ball, and that's why you might hear a noise occasionally. She was whining. You're not throwing the ball to me. You're talking to somebody on the screen.
Yeah.
So,
We
in
can hear
behalf
it.
of myself and Lily, I'll switch off. Lily, be quiet.
Oh, that's a lovely.
She's just saying her about me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Ball.
So that was a lovely summary, Fred, and I thank you for it. And I will just pull us to a closing now with a reminder that it's important to do what you love with passion. And we'll see you next week.